Having watched more anime than I like to admit, I've watched anime for over 30 years and I thought it would be fun to create this list. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't, but I hope you enjoy the video. One Punch Man. The world is threatened by monsters, villains, and alien invasions. To protect humanity exists the Hero Association, which assigns hero ranks C-class up to S-class, and deals with disaster levels. Our protagonist, Saitama, is a hero for fun who after 3 years of intense training, 100 push UPS, 100 sit UPS, 100 squats, 10 kilometers run every day, eating simple food, no air conditioner or heater, became so strong that he can defeat any opponent with a single punch. Because he is so overwhelmingly powerful, Saitama finds heroing boring. There's no challenge, no thrill. This existential boredom becomes a key part of his character and the series' tension. He meets a cyborg hero named Genos who becomes his disciple, and together they and many other heroes face escalating threats, both from monsters and from the complexities of hero society. Anzoulgown. In the vast world of the DMMORPG Yggdrasil, a once mighty guild known as Anzoulgown reigns supreme. After 12 years of gameplay, the servers are set to shut down, marking the end of an era. One by one, the guild's members drift away, leaving behind only their leader, Momonga. Refusing to abandon the legacy they built, he remains online until the very end. As the clock strikes midnight, he adjusts the personalities of the NPCs one last time and closes his eyes, waiting for the system to power off. But when he opens them again, something has changed. The NPCs stand before him, no longer lines of code but living beings of flesh and emotion. The world around him has transformed into reality. Trapped within his skeletal avatar, Momonga, now assuming the name of his guild, Anzoulgown, wields godlike power as an undead sorcerer capable of commanding endless legions of the dead. With unmatched magical might and a calm, calculating will, he sets out to uncover the mysteries of this new world, and to carve his name into it as a ruler feared by all. Shiba Tatsuya. In the anime, light novel series The Irregular at Magic High School, the world is one where magic has become a formalized technology. Magicians attend special high schools. Students are divided into blooms and weeds based on their magic evaluation. Tatsuya enters first high in Course 2, perceived as a weed due to his low practical skill evaluation. Despite his placement, Tatsuya possesses hidden and overwhelming powers, unique magic skills, decomposition and regrowth, military experience, genius in magic engineering, and strategic genius. Tatsuya is calm, rational, and mature. He rarely expresses strong emotions, which is tied to a childhood experiment that suppressed much of his emotional capacity. He shows deep loyalty and protective feelings toward his sister Miyuki. For most others he is detached but efficient. Though he is extraordinarily capable, he is often undervalued or misjudged because he doesn't fit the usual criteria for elite magician in his school system. Despite his power, he doesn't seek recognition. His focus is more on duty, protection, especially of Miyuki, effectiveness, and the big picture rather than accolades. Abilities and powers. Tatsuya's abilities are vast and layered. Some of the key ones include decomposition, also called dismantle, the ability to break down matter's structure or magical constructs at a fundamental level. Regrowth or restoration, the ability to restore or regenerate matter including himself, within a certain time frame. Elemental sight, he can perceive and analyze magical structures and effects directly. Magic engineering genius, under the alias Taurus Silver, he designs advanced CADs, casting assistance devices, and advances magic technology. Martial and tactical skill, he has trained in hand-to-hand combat and military operations. He also has strategic acumen in large-scale engagements. Why Tatsuya stands out. He subverts the typical underdog student becomes hero trope. On the surface, he is underranked and underestimated, but underneath he is overpowered and central to global events. The emotional suppression juxtaposed with his protective instincts, especially for Miyuki, adds depth. He is powerful, rational, and detached, yet driven by duty and personal ties. The blend of magic, technology, military strategy, and elite schooling gives the series a layered setting, and Tatsuya's role ties all those aspects together. His status as an irregular, hence the series title, means he doesn't follow the standard rules of magic evaluation and student ranking, which allows the story to explore themes of hidden potential, misjudgment, and systemic bias. Rimuru Tempest was originally a human named Satoru Mikami, a 37-year-old salaried office worker in Tokyo. His life was fairly mundane: no girlfriend, a routine job, and unfulfilling days. One day, while meeting a colleague, a random attacker stabbed Satoru while defending his friend. In his dying moment he answered mysterious questions and was granted powers for his next life. After his death he is reincarnated into a fantasy world. The central world of the story is a slime monster. Upon reincarnation, he becomes a lowly slime, a monster typically considered weak. But he retains his human memories and mindset. He acquires at the outset unique skills, one called Great Sage, an AI-type support and logician, and one called Predator, the ability to eat and absorb various beings, and mimic skills and traits. Early in his journey he meets the powerful storm dragon Feldera Tempest sealed in a cave for 300 years. He befriends Feldera, and in that moment receives the name Rimuru Tempest, Rimuru from Feldera, Tempest as shared surname, to reflect their pact. The disappearance of Feldera's aura sets off a power vacuum. Rimuru becomes leader of the monsters in the Jura Forest and eventually founds the nation known as the Jura Tempest Federation. Rimuru builds up an enormous suite of abilities. Some key ones: Predator, the ability to devour or absorb things, monsters, objects, magic, and even humans to acquire their attributes or powers. Great Sage, a support and analysis unique skill that processes data, gives advice, and boosts Rimuru's efficiency in battle and strategy. Shapeshifting or mimicry, Rimuru can take on different forms, including a human-like form, by using the body he consumes. Over time Rimuru evolves into a demon lord, and attains demon slime status, and later ultimate slime, elevating his strength, scale, and influence immensely. His resistance and versatility rise to extreme levels. He gains high resistance to physical, magical, and mental attacks. Can manage large-scale warfare. Builds alliances, and changes national-scale politics. Rimuru's arc essentially goes from weak monster to powerful leader and nation builder. The interest comes from how a former human salaryman navigates a monster's body, monster races, and leadership of a nation of diverse beings. The narrative explores themes of coexistence between monsters and humans, what constitutes a nation, responsibility and leadership, the burden of power, and the value of friendship and loyalty. Rimuru's journey isn't just about fighting, it's about diplomacy, strategy, growth both personal and communal, and building a new world rather than just conquering it. Because he starts as something undervalued, a slime, the contrast of how much he becomes is part of the appeal. To go from a mundane workaday life, to the leader of a nation of equality and peace. It proves that with time, effort, and knowledge, one can do anything. Look at me, I'm a 40-year-old broke guy who can't stay awake longer than 30 minutes while editing videos, yet I do what I can and figure out my way. I segued from my original point, for such little guy, a species that in other shows is depicted as beginner adventurer fodder, to being the most powerful being in the world. He is broken. Son Goku. Goku was born on the planet Vegeta, as a member of the Saiyan warrior race. He was sent to Earth as an infant to prepare the planet for invasion. His mission changed after he suffered a head injury that altered his nature, was adopted by his grandfather Grandpa Gohan, and given the name Son Goku. As a child he lived a peaceful life in the wilderness with his grandpa Gohan, who taught him martial arts. Throughout his life he battled many opponents including Tien Shen Han, Frieza, Cell, Bu, among a mountain of others. Through these battles he gained extensive experience and grew to be one of the strongest people across many universes. Despite his unbelievable power, he was a good and pure guy, and a child at heart. From an OP character point of view, Goku ticks many boxes for being extremely powerful and continually rising. Superhuman physical attributes, strength, speed, stamina, and durability far beyond typical humans. Key energy manipulation, energy blasts like the iconic Kamehameha, flight, and sensing others' power. A natural Saiyan trait, he gains strength after near-death or recovery, enabling constant growth. Major transformations that boost power to immense levels, Super Saiyan forms, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, and Ultra Instinct among others. Goku starts from relatively low, for a super warrior, and keeps breaking his own limits, satisfying OP character expectations. Sung Jinwoo begins as one of humanity's weakest. He is an E-rank hunter in a world where hunters fight monsters from mysterious gates and dungeons. His mother is suffering from a serious condition, and his sister is still a student, so Jinwoo takes on dangerous raids to support his family. During a double dungeon event, a hidden, extra high danger dungeon embedded in a lower level 1, he is nearly killed. In that moment he becomes the sole player of a mysterious system that enables him to level up, gain stats, get quests, and grow in power in a way no other hunter can. From this point his story becomes one of dramatic transformation, from weakest hunter to S rank to national level 2, eventually inheriting the title of Shadow Monarch, and becoming humanity's foremost protector and warrior against cosmic scale threats. Wielding things like maxed out stats, necromancy powers, infinite growth potential, and the Shadow Army, he might as well be a god. If he hasn't yet reached godhood, give it a couple seasons. Sung Jinwoo is a textbook op protagonist, starting from weakness, gaining a unique power system, achieving exponential growth, building an army, and confronting multi-dimension threats. His story blends monster hunting, gaming mechanics, and fantasy escalation, making him a favorite among fans of power fantasy anime and webtoons. Meliodas from the Seven Deadly Sins, as the dragon's sin of wrath, and son of the Demon King, he has demonic powers, extreme resilience, and the ability to reflect attacks with full counter. Meliodas is the leader of the group known as the Seven Deadly Sins in the anime, manga The Seven Deadly Sins. He is a demon, extremely old, over 3,000 years, and very powerful even from the early arcs of the story. His narrative involves recovering lost power, dealing with curses, his relationship with the demon world and the god world, and his leadership role. On the surface, Meliodas can appear lighthearted or playful, but when battle demands it he becomes extremely serious and ruthless. He carries heavy baggage, his demon heritage, the curses placed upon him and his loved ones. That gives his power and his struggles extra weight. From an op character view, the contrast between his often casual demeanor and his devastating power adds to his appeal. What makes him OP? Meliodas possesses a signature ability called Full Counter, which allows him to reflect magical attacks back at the opponent with greater power. He also has Hellfire-type powers, Demonic Fire plus Darkness, and vast strength, speed, regeneration, manipulation of darkness, etc. Because he's both a Demon King level threat and a protagonist, he bridges protagonist vulnerability and top-tier threat factor. Why he qualifies as OP? He has near-limitless scaling, his power goes from already very strong to god level within his story. His signature abilities, Counter, Darkness Manipulation, give him versatility and dominance, not just brute strength. His narrative stakes are very high world, demon god level. He's not just strong, he's the central power that many arcs revolve around. Summary. Meliodas exemplifies OP, tremendous power, high stakes, continual escalation, and a mix of emotional plot weight that anchors his strength. He is a classic strongest hero with hidden power archetype. Kirito, Sword Art Online. In a virtual reality setting he rapidly ascends to the top, dual wielding, superior game skills, and repeatedly clearing extremely high difficulty content. Kirito, Kazuto Kirigaya, is the main protagonist of the anime, manga, light novel series, Sword Art Online. He was one of the beta testers for the Vermeer page, Sword Art Online, then became one of the players trapped in the death game of Sword Art Online, forced to fight through 100 floors, to free himself and others. After Sword Art Online, he participates in other VR MMORPGs, Alphium Online, Gun Gale Online, and thus his narrative spans multiple game worlds and escalating threat levels. Kirito tends toward being solo, prefers individual play, skilled and quick. He is protective of his friends and allies, especially Asuna, and while he is remarkable in skill, his motivation often includes protecting others rather than just winning. From an op perspective, Kirito works in game settings which themselves raise the stakes, death game, virtual worlds, and his abilities are extraordinary for those settings. What makes him OP? One of his standout skills, the Dual Blades ability, a unique skill in the Sword Art Online universe, allowing him to wield two swords simultaneously, is very rare, and unavailable to others. His exceptional swordsmanship, reaction speed, adaptability, and ability to clear game floors, bosses, etc. Because the series spans multiple games and systems, his capabilities cross many meta boundaries, Vermeer page rules, game systems, real-world overlap. Why he qualifies as OP? He's often ahead of his peers, due to beta tester experience, solo player status, and unique abilities. The stakes of his fights, life and death in VR, multiple virtual worlds, amplify his OP status, defeating game creators, and massive threats. Versatility. He fights in different game mechanics, adapts quickly, and has top-tier skill in multiple contexts. While he does have weaknesses, like game mechanics, emotional stakes, his power curve is steep and well established. Kirito is a virtual hero gone pro archetype taken to an extreme, unique skill set, solo dominance, game mechanics bending in his favor, and the highest stakes. From an OP character point of view, he remains notable for how early he becomes dominant in his world, and how many different systems he masters.
Thanks for watching, and suggest any ideas for future projects. Support the channel with some of my epic merch through my Bonfire store, new designs coming soon, and the material is strong and soft, I can confirm that personally. Or buy me a pizza, links in description. Be sure to live and subscribe, aiming for 1000 subs.